Alright, hello and welcome back everybody to the Join League number 5 with Truesight TV. I'm Aspie Revolution 5, joined by Archaeadota, and we've got Megalodon Gaming up against the House is Down for tonight's match. It's a best of 2 series group stage match, and it should be pretty good. Archaea, hope you're doing well, man.
Doing fine.
And of course, let's just jump right into it. I mean, meta hasn't changed much since we've last casted.
At all, really. I mean,
it's a little up in the air. Like, I don't feel like there's as much you must pick this, and then this, and if they pick this, you pick this. I feel like it's a bit more flexible at the moment, although there's definitely a trend toward late game, and a bit of a trend toward team fights as well. However, we do see Megalodon banning out kind of the staple heroes of the patch, Troll Warlord and the Axe, of course. We'll see the House is Down banning out the Juggernaut, as well as the Batrider. I mean, just pretty dominant heroes, and all cores, oddly enough. So, Vengeful Spirit and Lion still in the pool. What's your take on the strongest hero after Lion that's left, Archaea?
Venge is super strong. She pairs well with so many heroes. Second strongest, I'm going to have to go with Techies. I think he's just all-around great support, and you can put him in the off-lane position. Heck, he can even take up the mid lane if need be. Now, realistically, I think this is a support-dominant patch. The cores are also very strong. That's why you're seeing them out first. But I think the support just blends so well with everything that you really can't go wrong with picking up the Venge, the Skywrath, the Ogre. They've seen their share of nerfs and buffs, but at the end of the day, they're still the all-stars.
Yeah, and this is another hero who's been a big pickup. Excuse me. I'm okay.
We're good.
I'm alive. But, Bristleback, he's been picked up on Dire a lot because of the change to the Ancient Spawn area.
Yeah.
But the Radiant will pick him up oftentimes to deny him from the Dire because he's not really first pick material.
I see it. Weren't we talking a little bit ago about one of these teams playing Bristle quite a bit?
I believe so. I needed to grab something to drink. I forgot to do that when I got up. Or I'm going to choke on something, so I'll be right back, okay?
Alright, I'll entertain the crowd. Well, seeing as I'm the only one left, let's get into this Witch Doctor pick. I think Witch Doctor has been losing just a tad bit of steam in this meta. Death Ward is super powerful on its own, and if you can farm enough to get the Ags, you can control basically any team fight. Although, this is a little odd picking into a Lion. They have the stun from Split Earth and the Hex to really bring Witch Doctor down in all stages, so to really make him a powerhouse altar, you're going to need that BKB, and I don't think the House is Down has that in mind.
Yeah, definitely. And with that sneeze, of course, you can tell I'm back. But the Witch Doctor does have one big advantage. If he can land a Maledict on Lion and follow up with any damage onto him, it's pretty much going to whittle Lion down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, Lion has very low armor. He's got very low HP in general. And they will pick up the Clockwork, oddly enough. This has been a hero who's been rising in popularity kind of alongside Sniper, in my opinion, simply because he can protect Sniper very well. He can tank the front lines while Sniper sits in the back and just picks them off, like he, likes to do. And
well, it goes both ways. Clockwork's actually a great Sniper counter.
Yeah, because he can close that distance very quickly too. So if you're thinking to pick up a Sniper, this is a great hero to go ahead and pick up because it denies it from the enemy team as a counter and goes ahead and picks it up for yourself. Yeah,
I think it was a smooth pickup. I'm not sure what House has in mind to deal with this, because that does put the Witch Doctor pretty vulnerable, honestly, if Witch Doctor just starts ulting in the back.
Yeah, and oddly enough, there's a Phoenix ban coming out from Megalodon. Maybe they're planning on picking someone who doesn't have very high attack speed at all.
Yeah.
And they don't have Troll available, so Phoenix is definitely a relatively viable pickup. And if you can get a good team fight off of the Phoenix, things can get pretty ugly pretty quick.
Oh, definitely.
And a Shadow Fiend ban out. I mean, Witch Doctor's not going to be the best at roaming very early, so getting that out of the way is a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Securing a very strong mid laner. Just getting rid of that is a pretty good idea, no matter what. Although usually you pick them up on the Radiant side because it's easier to convert to the jungle. Or not as much convert, but allow your jungle farm to intermix with your little mid lane farm going on right there.
Yeah.
So, house pick, I'm not sure what they're gonna really need. Invoker would be fantastic, actually, now I think about it. You could use Deafening Blast plus Meatball. Let's hold the people in there while Witch Doctor gives them a good old treatment.
Yeah, and
purple treatment.
Although THD's roster is very new and doesn't factor too much into this, they have, historically at least, played 52 matches with Invoker with a 57% win rate. That's not too shabby. Now,
yeah.
Keep in mind, they've only played like the last 12 matches with their team, and just skimming things the last 10, I don't see Invoker picked up right now.
So it's before.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you're a monster Invoker player, your teammates can adjust to you.
Yeah. And it may just be that they've held on to it for a while and are now comfortable picking it up.
Yeah, that could be it. Alright. Mega's at a crossroads here. The Invoker picks actually... It's a curveball no matter how you look at it, because you don't know where it's going to go. You could go the classic, I'm going mid lane, or I'm feeding Quas, Exhort, and you just control... No, you don't control, excuse me. You just dominate with damage, you know, ganking everywhere at the same time. Doesn't matter where you're at. Sunstrike, Cold Snap, Ice Ball.
Excuse me.
Or you could go the Quas Wax, offer some control, be less aggressive, but when you actually do attack with a very strong fist, controlling the enemies.
Yeah, and keeping them locked down. And speaking of lockdown, we do have Earthshaker already picked up, so if Invoker decides to go for that Forward Spirit split push build, which isn't exactly as strong as it was at one point, Earthshaker will be able to do a bit against that. Also, it's very good against Witch Doctor. They're basically saying, Witch Doctor, you're not going to get an ult off unless you have, well, pretty much perfect positioning or a BKB. Which really lowers the damage of Witch Doctor in general.
5 seconds remaining.
And whoa!
That's
okay. I want to say it's support, but it could be a core. It's possible, but it depends on the house's down's 5th pick, and this is one of those kind of wild card pickups that can work either way. However, as a core, he's not nearly as impressive. And there it is. Yep.
I think with Mega's heroes currently, even with the sniper, they have to think about, when am I going to use this ult? Like, they can't just use it in a normal situation. Like, there's 4 of them. Earthshaker, make the ground shake. They've got to think, well, then Abaddon will have full health. So let's play this a little safer. And I think right now, Mega doesn't know if it's a core or a support either, which is exactly what THD wants. I mean,
it's an excellent mind game in the draft here. They will get a little afraid of the Viper, which you can't really blame them, but I think Megalodon is looking for something a little more frontline. Wouldn't be surprised to see something like Centaur come out here, although they need a mid, so something that's going to get in your face, though.
I think they're going to have Earthshaker Lion in the safe lane with someone who's to be decided. Sniper in the mid lane, Clockwork off lane. So, not exactly high farmer. I could see someone just doing little bits and pieces of early game damage.
Yeah, but Sniper's their main DPS. They just need people to keep off of the Sniper. Please, step back from our Sniper. Do not approach him. And Puck's like, how about no?
Yeah.
I'll go in that, and this is putting Abaddon definitely in that supportive role, unless they're going to run something really funky with a support Invoker. Well, I'd rather not do that.
Well, no, look at the draft. You're going to have Bristle in the off lane. You're gonna have either Puck or Invoker in the mid lane, but Puck can't really play support. Invoker can't really either, but that's not the point. I'm saying it could be a thing here.
It could work. The problem is that
Oh, Cold Snap plus Maledict.
ooh.
That's what it is.
Well, I mean, Cold Snap plus most of Witch Doctor stuff. I mean, even just the cask. If you've isolated 2 enemies, it'll keep proccing Cold Snap.
Yeah, I think.
And Bristleback. I mean, you can just Quill Spray all day and keep proccing Cold Snap. It'll be a Razor coming out from Megalodon. I really like this pickup, especially if it's their safe lane farmer, because I'm guessing they want to put Puck in the off lane. And Razor actually does relatively well against Puck, simply because you'd think, oh, I'll just phase shift and Static Link won't hurt me. Well, no, it's just like, yep, I'll wait.
We can play this game all day. But I really want to see what this Invoker ends up doing.
Yeah.
Prepare for battle.
It'll definitely be interesting to see here.
No, I believe he's gonna be the farmer, most likely. He had a null tally, but he sold it, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to do here. Yeah, now he's got it back. It looks like he's gonna be the main farmer, and
Bristleback in the off lane.
yeah, Abaddon gonna be supporting. Meanwhile, Puck's in the mid lane, which Bristleback would do pretty well, I think, in this lane against the.
Yeah.
The Razor might end up going mid.
It looks like they've read out the lanes a little bit and just decided to put Razor mid. It's going to be Yaki on that Razor with a Wraithband Tango combo starting up. Gut, their stand-in, will be on the Sniper. You've got Eye Monster on the Earthshaker. We're starting off with Boots and a few Tangos. It looks like they've pulled Sniper some Tangos here. He may actually end up being the team's mid laner. It's a toss-up either way at the moment, in my eyes. And Lion will be played by Aquino, which I've casted him before, and I know he used to go by another name, but I can't tell you what it is right now. Also, Q Laz will be down bot on the Clockwork.
Well, I guess we'll start it off right here with Abaddon, played by Zele. Before we get into this whole introduction, do you know if that's actually a stand-in or if it's just official Dota being official Dota? You know, it sometimes messes up.
On whose side? THD?
Yeah.
They've been playing with Zele a lot according to their profile on Dota Buff, so I'm just going to say it's not a stand-in. It doesn't say active on the roster, but they also have Yuka labeled as active, and he hasn't played since 3 months ago, unfortunately. I really miss watching Yuka play, because he was fantastic. Just, that takes me back, you know? Anyways.
Alright, and then Witch Doctor's going to be played by Menno. Over to the left, just a tad bit, we've got Straff on the Invoker. In the mid lane, getting ready to block those creeps, de Bordor on the Puck. And towards the top, the Crazy on the Bristleback.
Yeah. Bristleback should do pretty well in this lane. The only thing is, if I'm not mistaken, Hex does disable Bristleback. So, like, the passive Bristleback. It obviously disables the hero, but, you know, that's a given. So, he won't take reduced damage if he has that Hex on him, and that'll be a problem. I believe we're just paused because of Sec.
Yeah, that's all he wrote. But let's give a shout out to our viewers so far. Anyone noteworthy you'd like to mention?
Hefla's around, and I appreciate him coming around.
Well,
of course, if you guys have followed Join Dota League for any time, you know Hefla.
Yeah.
It's a 2-game series, yep. And we'll be getting underway right now. So it should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Bristol got that ward.
Overall, though, whose lineup are you favoring here, Archaea?
I think it's up in the air enough that it'll be a decent game. I don't think any team's going to blow it out of the water, and I don't see one team that has a major flaw in their draft, so it's up to the players. Both great teams, great drafts. Let's see some Dota.
Yeah. Looks pretty even here, too. Yaki actually going to get stunned up at the rune, but he does get that bounty rune, and he will be able to static link up Zele here. They're keeping the Witch Doctor back on the support side. Yaki's got a lot of damage in the Earth Spike, or, excuse me, Fissure coming in from the Earthshaker. He's going to do a lot. The Shield should be able. That's first blood on Straff. Yep. If they can find it. Yep. There we go. Yaki actually securing it. Nice cast coming out from Witch Doctor, but won't be enough to save him. And Megalodon getting off to a good start. Do want to point out that THD were favored in Join Dota by about 80% odds and about 10% on tie. So Megalodon definitely the underdogs coming into this one. Minnow is going to pop a Clarity and get it instantly canceled by that line ult. So interestingly enough, we will see an aggressive tri-lane coming out here. A great way to shut down Invoker, seeing as you've got extra heroes around to deny and just take up your XP and slow down your farm in general. It'll also give Clockwork up top a lot more XP than he'd be getting in an offlane situation. So
yeah, there's always that going on. I like the aggressive tri-lane idea. Actually, I like it a lot. You got the two supports who could be aggressive all day, and you know what? You have Razor, who can really just take any little bit of ground you accidentally pushed on him and turn it into a death.
Yeah. You've got to be very careful against this, especially with stuns paired up with Razor. He can get a lot of extra drain off just by his team disabling you. It's also going to be very hard to harass these enemies, seeing as for each hit you can get off on them, their supports can get 2 more off on you, theoretically. I don't like the Earthshaker as much in the aggressive trail lane. However, he's going to be rotating around mid right now, looking for something. And it's one thing with him getting the early boots like this. He's going to be able to rotate a lot earlier. The only downside is he doesn't have a lot of XP. Looks like he'll get a bounty rune. There's a regen up top. And both teams have decent ward vision. Looks like the Radiant have put one observer up here just to protect Bristleback's farm a bit.
Yeah, he ran in there a little earlier. What do you think about this lane? I think it's leaning towards Bristleback just because of all of the bristles, really.
Yeah, and the fact that he can put out consistent damage pretty well. Clockwork, not as much, but if Clockwork gets a really good cogs off on him, I think he can take the upper hand. It's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Yeah, and now down the aggressive tri lane, they're just pushing to the jungle, taking stacks and creep pulls.
Yeah.
No survivors currently.
Oh, and they'll isolate
Minnow.
Minnow.
Catch Minnow out just a little bit, but not sure if they have the follow-up.
Luckily, he was able to get his boots pretty early, too. So he'll actually be able to get away from them in time. And since they used the fissure to block him off, they don't have another one to actually stun him again. So
yeah.
The early mana pool from Earthshaker is so low that he can't get 2 of those off in quick succession. And that's what really hurts as an Earthshaker in the early game. I mean, you can't do much because you don't have enough mana. So the quicker they can get him some arcane boots or even just a couple iron branches will help him out tons. Now up top, Clockwork has been forced to pop his salve, and he does have a bottle here. Bristleback with a bit of boots. It's not going to help him a ton in this matchup, seeing as he's going to be able to just outrun Clockwork anyway. But it will give him a little bit of easier time last hitting, since he's going to be able to be a little more mobile, and he's not ranged, so that mobility does matter in terms of farm. Anyway, both teams sitting a little passive. Sniper only barely beating out Puck in the mid lane right now. This is a pretty even matchup. Puck only losing out by about 3 last hits right now. Earthshaker finds an illusion rune. Sniper's going to find bounty, and Puck, well, he'll be forced to bottle crow here shortly, I believe. Luckily, that courier's already on the way, so. Actually.
Not going to crow. I mean,
oh, no, he is.
Still got to charge. Yes. Oh, it was the Earthshaker.
The illusion just warded him off for a second there.
Well, this aggressive tri lane, I think they're doing what they need to. Invoker's pulling out with about 2 more last hits, but that's iffy.
Yeah, and I mean you're gonna get a few more last hits in the aggressive tri lane, but Razor's one of those heroes that just with a little bit of farm, he can push himself over the edge and go a long way toward the late game. They do manage to get a cogs off on the Bristleback up top, and Clockwork didn't get the hook shot off because he didn't have it yet, but actually managed to force Bristleback to use a salve there, and did a lot. Yeah. Also, Bristleback brought out a bottle. What do you think about that one?
It's to contest the top room. Oh, and there's actually a little bit of rotation.
Yep, mid lane actually.
Save him?
Puck will be able to get a kill for Sniper, get a kill on Sniper, and get away with it as well. Very nicely done there. A great use of his coil early, and Puck already sitting on 700 gold toward either his Blink Dagger or the Treads, so
Yeah.
could be having a very early Blink Dagger if he can find another kill like that solo.
Yeah, I think early Blink Dagger on Puck will allow him to rotate and deal with his aggressive tri-lane, and
Yeah.
more importantly, deal with his Clockwork top.
He's going to be very good against this team. Clockwork's probably the hardest to go against here, just because of the fact that his cogs are going to be a serious nuisance. You blink in and you get cogged, you're in a lot of trouble there, unless you're real quick on your trigger finger with the orb. And even then, the battery assault is probably going to keep you in there a little longer than you'd like to.
Phase shift 3.25
Yeah.
seconds and the cooldown on blink. I guess I don't know. It's up in the air.
But in the mid game, when phase shift's not leveled all the way, he's going to have some problems. Yaki will actually get stunned up here. They'll throw out a little bit of sticky nasal goo, but it looks like it's not enough.
That was actually a good one. I'll give you that. And you know what? He's in a bad place to be right now. The crazy playing a little too crazy. Not sure if he's gonna be able to make it out.
They get it with Minnow getting a double kill, actually, as he took down Razor as well. Hookshot comes in from the Clockwork, though. He'll pop a DD rune, and Bristle is going to want to get back.
This
now.
is scary.
He'll be okay,
Arms
though.
are down, hooks down. I mean, the hook shot had potential, but it just hit a pile of creeps. And that's unfortunate. But Witch Doctor cleaning things up.
Really doing well early on here. He's sitting 2-0, and he's actually got enough for Arcane Boots if he wants them. He's already got a pair of wards, so I'd say why not get Arcane Boots here, unless you really want to go for something like Tranquils and rush that Ag Scepter. However, against a lineup like this, with this much lockdown, Ags is not your best bet. You want to get something that's going to help you tank up first, I'd say. I mean, if you have 4,000 gold, by all means, go ahead, but BKB might be a little nicer option at this point. But I mean, we'll see what they end up doing. Sniper still dominating in terms of farm, despite the fact that he got killed by Puck here. And Puck will go ahead and get those treads. They're going to delay his blink a little bit, but that'll give him a little more survivability and a lot more damage. Puck already hits pretty hard, so having that extra little bit of attack speed from treads is going to help him out tons. And they'll actually smoke up the Crazy and Minnow. Managing to smoke past the Lion, which could have revealed him if he was a little closer. Now Sniper will spot him, or Puck will spot him out with the orb from a bit of a long distance. And Yaki, he's in the danger zone. Little does he know it.
4 heroes top. This is the end of Yaki.
Yeah, Cold Snap.
Sunstrike. Oh, it's all dropped on him. And Invoker's gonna come out with that kill.
Oh, Clockwork though, he's here. He does have a hook shot in.
I
don't think he uses it.
He needs to wait on backup, which is on the way. Smoked up, actually, they're ready to go.
Yeah, and Straff is still here. Now, Zele and Minnow will be out of vision. Meanwhile, Puck does find another kill on Sniper in the mid lane. Now, iMonster will be coming out of the smoke right now. He's holding on to that fissure for a better time, and nice just holding the enchant there. Now, hookshot off on the Witch Doctor on the back lines. Aquano will get blown up by a post-mortem Sunstrike there, and Minnow getting taken down as well. That's a double kill for iMonster, and they might get Zele too. No level 6 up in your Abaddon yet. He'll be going down as well, and Megalodon showing signs of life, definitely, in the early game here. 6-5 is your kill score, and we're looking at about a 500 to 600 gold lead for Megalodon. Surprisingly enough. Experience going the way of THD, though.
Yeah. That was crazy good plays. Actually, I'm really impressed. iMonster pulling out when they needed to.
Yeah.
Great enchant totems, and honestly, a fantastic fissure to make all of that fight possible. So,
him holding on to that fissure so long really made that fight work.
yeah, if they would have dropped it earlier, it wouldn't have worked out too well. And meanwhile, even though the Sniper fell to Puck sometime between Razor dying and the rest of the team dying, right?
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe even before they engaged.
Yeah, it was a little odd, but
And this is the problem, though. We're like, Earthshaker's getting kills, and that's great because he can get a blink. He's still going to need to buy some wards and whatnot in between there. He's not exactly going to be able to instantly become that playmaker that Puck is once he gets his first big item. Now, the Crazy turning a lot of damage back on him. Won't quite be able to kill anybody, though.
yeah, and he's gonna fall as well. Look at net worth and XP, both of them within 1,000.
Yeah, it's a very close game here.
Yeah, 6-6, and my only worry is net worth reveals 3 Fed cores who are on their way to taking the top for Mega.
I mean, Puck may be ahead of them, but he still needs that Blink Dagger to really be concretely ahead in net worth. Otherwise, he's kind of sitting behind them, in all honesty.
Yeah.
He's got gold, but it doesn't do anything. It's like him having a Hand of Midas. Well, that's cool and all, but your net worth doesn't mean anything in combat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Minnow, he's actually going for what appears to be the Ags build, or maybe BKB Rush. He's got a Ogre Club up right now. And personally, he doesn't need that much mana. They did an easy Sunstrike off on Yaki there. But Hookshot coming in onto Puck. He won't be able to get out of this one. Silenced up, hexed up, and everything before he goes down. There was a TP, I believe, just faked in there from THD, but not going to be able to do enough just yet. A nice pick-off, though. They definitely needed that because they have to delay this Blink Dagger. Invoker gets an 11.5-minute Midas. Not too bad, but not amazing. However, considering it's 2 deaths, it's decent.
Yeah.
Now, Minnow's, he's going down up top.
Yeah, Minnow. In just a bad position. Was it his TP that was faked?
I
think it... Whoa!
It was, yeah.
We got a BKB rush up on Witch Doctor. It's not up yet, but Ogre definitely. So they're gonna want to have that the playmaking ults from the Death Ward, which I could see. So
it'll force Mega to waste a hook shot on him if they want to interrupt him. Seeing as Sniper no longer has that mini stun, of course it didn't go through BKB anyway, but they'll have to use Clockwork to interrupt that, and that kind of makes them save an ult for a while. Now, diving back behind the tower, we've got the Crazy. Zele will manage to heal him up there. Sunstrike from the Invoker not going to connect, but Gut, he's got some guts about him, and he'll be on a killing spree now. One more TP coming out from the Lion here as the Crazy tries to get on the run, can't quite make it away. Nice interrupt from the Puck as he actually gets 4 in that coil. It's not going to be enough, though. The Finger and everything expended to try and kill him. The Finger not even necessary, but better safe than sorry with Puck.
Yeah. And Puck falls, however, did say Bristleback.
Yeah, and that was very nice. The coil being used there was really big. Otherwise, Sniper might have got his ult off, and they'd only really need another shrapnel to possibly bring him down, I think.
Yeah, and if you look at the net worth graph, it's broken 2K, actually, in favor of Mega.
Yeah.
So, great fights. Yeah, even eating the Puck all and just not caring. Managing to make Puck pay. Great job from Mega.
Yeah, and a Mask of Madness already up on Sniper. He'll be a little vulnerable to Puck's burst, but he is also building a Yasha, so he'll have a ton of damage, a ton of attack speed very early on here. Now, meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Crazy getting jumped on. His mana will get drained out by Lion, but he will turn around and throw some coil sprays, which Razor can't reduce with Static Link. That's going to be pretty big. THD, though, for the past couple minutes, have been sitting on 6 kills and not able to find much else.
Well,
I'm a little worried for them at this point, and Mega have excellent defensive wards just protect Sniper up top while they farms. The Crazy won't get the double damage. That'll go over to Clockwork, and he's going down here. Hopefully he's just trying to make some space for Puck, who's only about 400 gold away from this Blink. In fact, if he can find a kill on this tower, possibly, that's going to make a big difference. Meanwhile, Minnow up top, he gets the Death Ward off. Gut is going down to this, whether he likes it or not, but can he take Witch Doctor down with him? The Maledicts will finish him off, and Witch Doctor at least getting the XP for that before he goes down. Honestly, in a trade that favors THD, even if it's a 2-for-1 in the end, killing off Sniper right now makes a big statement. Now, he was, I believe, able to buy out his Yasha. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got it out.
And Clockwork actually has his Blade Mail, as well as Treads. This Clockwork is fairly stacked, sitting at 3-0-6. Looks like I was wrong about Bristleback coming out on top of the lane.
I think it's just a bit more useful.
But Invoker finding the tower on the bot lane. Puck does have enough for the Blink. Is he going to buy it out in time? He's trying to get to the shop so he can blink away and save himself. With Clockwork's hookshot down and now the missile on cooldown, Puck will actually be able to get back to the safety of his tower and making away with his life instead of having to kind of suicide and panic buy his blink. So, very nicely done by him. I think this is kind of the go signal for THD.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, we've got Q-Laz going down there. Or not. He might go down to that Maledict. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure how much HP he was at when he casted, but he does have those 2 TPs, so didn't lose any gold there. Just investing it in mobility in the future. And the Crazy in a little deep up top. Can it be enough? Sniper actually going to pick off Abaddon, and now the Crazy is left alone. He thought he'd be hard to kill with the Abaddon here, but
no.
Abaddon going ahead and falling. Oh, but the Sunstrike picks off the Earthshaker on the retreat. Very nicely done by Straff there.
Yeah. Quick pick and a nice hit, really. So they're going to start pushing towers now. Almost got the top. Got it to about half health. Mid lane, though, not going to be as lucky.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, and Straff clearly not afraid of the Earthshaker as he has gone for that Exort build despite things. Now, Clockwork gonna come in. He actually uses the hook shot to pick off Mimo. Straff with no Wex. Can't quite get away from this one. He'll actually hit Clockwork with the Sunstrike. And there was Blade Mail in that. Ended up killing him off, honestly.
Hurt him in the end. And then Yaki's just up here farming. He's not really participating in anything. Found a triple stack, actually. And he's just going to melt that down. And what's next for the Razor here?
I mean, he can go for anything he wants at this point. I'd say Mech has kind of fallen off on him. I know that was one of the big favorable items in TI4. Not so much now that he would have such a smaller mana pool if he ever uses it. I'd say Ags or BKB. And actually, speaking of the Razor, before he'll be able to buy out any part of those, he'll go down to the Puck, who is sitting on 1,000 gold. I'd say, honestly, Dagon might be Puck's next item. The team here, other than really Razor and Clockwork, are relatively squishy. Earthshaker maybe not quite as squishy, but he's only got 1,000 HP right now. Puck can definitely still burst him down, as well as Lion and Sniper for sure. And that can lead to bigger and better items for Puck. Unfortunately, the Radiant team is farming right underneath a pretty sneaky ward from the Dire. Usually you don't see this one placed down, but it's a nice aggressive ward to spot some movement coming into the mid lane, especially if you want to push that mid tower out there. And they've really warded up this jungle as well, so.
Yeah. If you look at Witch Doctor's inventory, it's going to be an Ags rush before BKB.
Yeah, and meanwhile on the mid lane, Invoker getting jumped on by the Clockwork. He has bought out his Force Staff now, so he'll be able to get away from this. And that's going to be just such a value item up against Clockwork, who will probably be dead here. Let's see if the Maledict gets him in the base. He's actually going to move out of the base briefly. He'll Blade Mail just to return a bit of the damage, but yeah, it won't finish him off by any means. I don't know why he's throwing out more spells, but okay. Oh, and Minno's going down. Nice combo there. Clockwork setting it up with the hook shot and just finishing it off, but Aquino's going to pay for it as they will take him down with a double damage on him. Sorry about that. Yeah. It looks like Bristleback's going for the Vanguard, I think.
Yeah. Picks up the Vanguard right there.
Is this turned into a Crimson Guard this game, or no?
I could see it. Give Witch Doctor an extra bit of tankiness when he's ulting. Trying to help him out there.
I mean, THD behind, but one good team fight, and they can really turn it around. And Witch Doctor's not going to go for that BKB rush. It's going to be a straight-up axe for him in the end. I mean, he's been finding slight solo pickoffs with his ult, and if he can continue to do that, he can definitely farm the axe and possibly farm a BKB as well. And while the bounces are kind of the big thing with the Aghanim Scepter, the damage goes up quite a bit as well. Practically an extra level of damage early on, so more power to him. Razor actually moving up to the top lane right now. We're going to see Earthshaker get his Blink Dagger at 20 minutes. That's going to be a big timing for him.
Yeah. Looks like Invoker may also. Well, I don't know.
He's been saving up a lot of gold. It's kind of hard to tell. I was thinking he might be going Sheepstick or something. Meanwhile, though, up top, we have an Earth Spike out on the Abaddon. Drain coming out on the crazy big plasma field from Razor. Will do a lot of damage. He's going to pop the ult and continue to chase here, but he's hitting crazy in the back. No more Cool Spray is going to come off just yet. And Abaddon ult being down, he'll try to get back, but he'll just die in the process. Puck getting the puck out of there. Witch Doctor throws out the cast, but actually is going to be his doom here as 3 fall for THD. Almost a 4th with Puck there. And Invoker looking for a Sunstrike. Won't quite find it as Yaki TP is away just short of where he casted it looks like.
Yeah, and this will be a tower and maybe a little more aggression, although... I
don't know that they can Rax just yet. With these low respawns on THD, they're not going to be able to really get that concrete advantage.
Yeah. I think they may not even get the tower. Yeah, they're going to back off for the most part. Waiting for more heroes, maybe take another fight. Puck playing pretty adventurous though.
Oh!
Sam can initiate plus Fissure plus Hex plus everything.
And this is the problem with Puck here.
Abaddon's gonna get stuck in some cogs too, but not quite enough damage to finish him off just yet.
He at least has ult, and he'll actually be saved by the Invoker, or at least it looked like it, until the finger from Lion came in there to secure the kill. Sniper running away, but gets hit with a bit of snot. Remember, kids, it is allergy season out there, so don't forget to wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
I can just see like an ad campaign with Bristleback, like, yeah, you know how I got these bristles, mate? I didn't wash my hands. And actually, looks like Clockwork could get caught out here. Blade Mail was up, but he's just going to get the evasive hookshot out of there. And he's actually got a Force Staff for himself as well. So, if you're going to Force Staff out of his cogs, he's not going to stick around to see the scenery for a bit.
Yeah, he's just going to leave.
I will say, Cogs is not that great of a disable here against THD because Abaddon's not really a threat, and the rest of the heroes are either ranged or they're Bristleback, who has a way to deal damage from inside Cogs with Quill Spray. So, I'm not particularly seeing the Force Staff. However, it can be used to bail Sniper out of a rough situation, and this is the kind of lineup you want to pick Sniper in, is one that can protect him very well. He actually went for Sange and Yasha, which will be a great fighting item for him at the moment. And Razor looks to be working on that Ags, so. Meanwhile, rotation down from QLaz. Wasn't spotted here by any heroes, but there was a ward in the river that I believe saw him, assuming they're paying attention to the minimap. They know he's here. I would not be taking this fight if I was THD. The Crazy gonna get hit there. There'll be actually a cask bouncing to Razor and back, but the Earthshaker Fissure will ward them off for a second. Witch Doctor trying to maybe chase in. Yaki could be going down here. He will to the Sunstrike from Invoker. Clockwork gonna miss the hook shot. This could be the opening THD's been looking for, but the Cogs might keep him back for a second. The Crazy, nice positioning, moving around those, but he's not going to be able to chase down Clockwork in time. But one pick off for them, and that's going to net him about an 800 gold swing. Puck and Invoker getting the bulk of it. Okay, did I lose you? Okay, we'll just assume I didn't, and he's dealing with issues on his end. But no big deal. We actually have Sniper, of course, leading the net worth charts. Speaking of net worth, let's take a look at the graph. A little bit of a curve back off that previous big engagement where it seemed like Mega had gotten all the kills. And actually, Minnow gonna get jumped on once again. It seems like he's not gonna finish this Ags anytime soon, but there is a coil out from Puck. Earthshaker just waiting. He'll actually Echo Slam here, take down the Puck in the process, and Gut dominating now as he finds the kill. And Abaddon here to defend. The Crazy wants to chase here. Sniper, though, with that extra move speed for Sange and Yasha, will be able to run away very quickly here. It's a nice replacement for the Shadow Blade, seeing as he doesn't have to rely on Invis to get away. He can just walk away, because he is fast enough at this point with about 450 move speed.
Yeah. Well, Didn't exactly get that tier 2 just yet.
Yeah, it's a little surprising
surprised.
they haven't been able to find that. Now, high ground potential, like moving into the late game, can THD hold their racks? Let's assume everybody's 5v5 up. Who has the advantage fighting into THD's high ground?
Well, it depends. I think if Mega gets... Mega is not. Mega actually just picked up an ultimate orb on Gut, which is weird. But
It's a Scotty.
yeah, if Gut would have went MKB first, Rax, sorry bud, you're not living.
I think the idea here is just to slow everyone on THD so hard that it's almost impossible to fight around the sniper. So at that point, you don't need your team to protect you. You just need to get a hit off on most of the enemies. Yeah. You actually will find a stack here. Not quite. They're going to go after Roche, though, and this could be their ticket to a tier 2 tower.
I think it'll be their ticket to a little more.
Ah, excuse me there. Yeah, Clockwork able to tank this up. He's going to be working on his Scepter now with Aquino with the Blink. Earthshaker I saw was working on Force Staff, which is not quite done for him, but Razor does have, I believe, Aghanim stunned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sniper with the Aegis. I mean, Razor with that Aghanim will become kind of a frontline tank. They're looking for a pickoff on Earthshaker here, who's actually going to blink away just in time. He could be getting away. Cold Snap will hit him. A Deafening Blast as well. The Force Snap forward to maybe catch him out, and Kulaz actually able to save him as well. And Invoker has used his Necro 3 already, which he has managed to pick up next. Not going for that blink as we thought he might. Kulaz actually going to come in on Invoker. Nice Force Staff away from Invoker. They will get a brief Witch Doctor ulti off, but he gets blown up by the Lion on the back end of the fight as your first kill. However, Aquino going to pay for it with his life. So it's a 1-for-1 trade of supports. Invoker Necro minions going down on the back end. The ranged one at least to fall. But actually, Earthshaker and Gut in the fray here. Gut a little close for comfort, but he does have that Aegis to work with. Now Puck will be getting away from this, I believe. Straff on the run, but they don't have detection to find him in the Ghost Walk. It looks like Zele may fall to this. I mean, the Aphonic Shield just shattered under Sniper, and this is not the situation you want Abaddon to be in. You want Abaddon to pop that shield and the enemy team to kind of scatter at his presence, and that's not what we're seeing here, Archaea.
Yeah. Mega needs to push this up, actually. Secure this game. In my opinion, I think, yeah, you have the Aegis. I mean, there's only one death, but you're not going to have Aegis that much longer. You need to turn this into a rack, so they may just take all the tier 2s that way when they finally do get to pierce the tier 3. They take them all down.
Yeah, they do still have the Aegis for... Well, it's only 2 minutes in. They've got time to work with it. So...
Yeah, there's some time. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried at all if I'm them. They have the superior late game, unless like an amazing Witch Doctor ult gets off. And actually, Bristleback gonna get probably taken down here. He's trying to get out, but just too much focus. If I were him, I'd be picking up a Blade Mail right now. As much focus as they're putting on him, and the fact that with Clockwork's Battery Assault, with Sniper Shrapnel, even Razor's ult, you can kind of stand in it and force them to take damage.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that, but I can understand why he's trying to go for BKB as well. Or possibly Halberd. In fact, Halberd would be a lot better here than either of those, because he could just get rid of Sniper's damage.
Sniperness.
The problem is
Damage,
getting in on Sniper. Like, they don't have a great gap closer other than Puck, and Puck wants to sit back and find a coil.
Yeah.
Whereas, I think what they might want Puck to do is just get in on Gut very early on. But now with the Scotty and the Sanjanyasha, Gut has 2k HP. Puck's past the point where he can burst him down, and...
Gut's super tanky, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. And meanwhile up top, they will get a little bit of split push off. In terms of towers, they're actually only about 2 towers behind, which it's not really that much. But in terms of net worth, things aren't looking quite as good. Only really Invoker is staying afloat due to the Midas, and...
The chart's scarier.
Ooh, 15 8,000 gold lead, or XP lead, excuse me. And net worth sitting at a good, healthy 12,000 there. Sunstrike just out to scout and actually nailed the clockwork. So, nicely played by the Radiant, but won't quite be enough. Looks like Lion is TPing up top to try and defend. A little bit of rat moving into THD.
Yeah.
Minnow's still working on this Aghanims. I believe he has... Yeah, he's got a Blade of Alacrity on the Courier. He finds one kill, and that can be done. And this is the problem with going for such an expensive item on a support. The Crazy actually going to get Echo Slam used to cancel his TP, and he'll be headed home off that one. Now, he does have a buyback available with 1,900 in the bank, but hopefully he won't be pressured enough to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, THD... If they can line up a good Witch Doctor ulti from the high ground, especially if they can do it like right after he gets his Ags, it's going to be pretty nice for them. And I mean, Witch Doctor's at the point right now where he's one last hit, and he could like sell his wand and pick up the Ags. And hopefully Puck will let him grab one here. However, with Sniper there, they're a little afraid to engage, and you can't blame them. They have to play it safe right now, because it's just getting a little too close for them in terms of, are we going to get the Ags or not?
Yeah, and it looks like Witch Doctor should be able to do it.
They picked Witch Doctor second, right?
Yes, I think so.
Because it was Bristleback, Witch Doctor... Oh, it's actually order on the
Yeah.
thing here. It might have been Witch Doctor, Bristleback, but they had second picks, so they had those two right in succession. He will actually pick it up, though. Earthshaker now with a gem to keep track of Invoker and just to get a little more map control. And Invoker actually has 4K in the bank. What's the next big thing for him?
He hasn't been casting a lot per se. He's staying away
I don't
from
see
Puck.
Ags, yeah. Oh, Earthshaker actually finds Puck, but there's the Witch Doctor ulti from the back ends. This is exactly what they were looking for. They find a pickoff on Earthshaker for the Witch Doctor. Now, Abaddon does go down in the process, but they at least prove that, hey, this Ags is a force to be reckoned with. It's something that you can't just stand around and say, I'm going to be fine, team. Don't worry about me. As Witch Doctor walks away with 700 in the pocket for that. And meanwhile, they're able to split push. I mean, Bristleback doing a lot of work on the bot lane. He's an excellent split pusher. It will be a BKB coming up for him, but he needs to get out pretty soon if he hopes to make it home. Rocket coming off. They don't spot him out, actually. They think he's over here somewhere. And, oh, dear.
Ooh.
He didn't have a rocket left, so he had to guess with the hook shot, and
Yeah.
at that point, it was just too late. But that will be an Ags up for Clockwork if he decides to buy it out. Yep, that'll be it, so.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just jamming with Chad.
We have one rule? We do?
Hold on. Just
Okay.
wait. I know. One roll. It's
I'm
more an Archaea roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there it is.
I was like, first of all, we don't have just one rule. We have a couple rules, but...
Well, it looks like THD's ready to make a move here. The one rule. Trying to secure some ground.
For those of you watching on the VOD, the one rule is raise your dongers, so...
Yeah. Just in case you're a little confused later on. Trying to learn something from these two brilliant teams.
I know.
And
We're
doing a ticket.
We're
Anyhow.
such Nazi mods over here, but anyways, do have a little bit of a hook shot out. It's gonna catch two. Minnow and Puck getting trapped here. Can Puck get away in time? He actually already has his damage drained. He'll be going down. That's a quick pick off of two, and actually Invoker going down on the back line to the clock shaker, and Sniper takes down Abaddon. Sorry about that.
Looks
But
like this is
it's a
gonna be
4-for-1 trade.
Multiple racks. There's going to be some injuries here.
Well,
They do
Puck
have
and
Bristle
Invoker have
Puck,
buyback. You've got
Invoker
30 seconds
Puck.
on the Witch Doctor and the Abaddon.
Yeah, but what can Sanford get before? Actually, they're not pushing as a group. They're going to allocate a Witch Doctor to try to pick off this not Invoker, this Bristleback.
You mean Earthshaker?
Yeah. Whoops.
It's all good.
They will take that tier 2, and it looks like they're ready to push down the mid lane.
Yeah, actually, Earthshaker will interrupt the TP of Bristleback. He's not going to be home to defend against this unless he can go full Sonic the Hedgehog here and get back. Home is in trouble, and he actually just spent his buyback. Oh, dear. This could be bad for the Bristleback, as actually Witch Doctor goes back home, and he is going down indeed, as Sniper will be able to find him. Bristleback still duking it out up top. Doesn't look like he'll be getting away from this one, as they do get a good angle on him, and they're going to be able to hit him in the front. Meanwhile, 2 racks going down bot. Bristleback manages to hold his ground for a little bit, but it's not going to be quite enough, and there is no buyback up on him. Now, he will have a BKB when he respawns, but
Sniper has enough to finish off this MKB or Daedalus, whatever he decides to go with.
yeah, or Rapier, keep in mind. I don't think he's going to do it, but he has enough money to finish it off, just to put his change in perspective.
He's tanky enough, honestly.
I still wouldn't do it when you're this far ahead. I think that would be considered 322.
It depends.
Yeah. He's almost got enough gold to just buy a Rapier straight up. But actually, a coil coming out. There's a little bit of burst coming out to Sniper. He will get stunned here. But Yaki is going to be able to frontline, and they'll keep him off Sniper. And now dominating as he takes down Puck, who does not have buyback, surprisingly. Is just a little too short.
This is looking grim. They're going to back up and do...
Actually, no, he does have buyback. There's currently some sort of bug where it says he doesn't have buyback when he actually does. His buyback cost is 1,000 gold. He's got 1390.
Alright, this may be...
I think it's counting from the next buyback. Like, if he were to somehow die while he was dead, would he have buyback? Because if he lost his unreliable gold, he wouldn't.
Okay.
But they take another Rax, and...
I think... You know what? Wait, what did he buy? Yeah, he's going MKB. So they could just siege this top Rex really easy.
Yeah. And it's no real surprise there. With Bristleback hanging on to that Ogre Club so long, they might think he's building a Halberd. And Bristleback's evasion is not fun, but he'll be moving into the pit. Can he actually swipe this? It doesn't look like it's Sniper. Gonna get away. The BKB gonna be used from Bristle. Isn't enough to do the damage. It looks like he's going to be dropping anyway. Witch Doctor gets a decent ult off. It's doing lots of damage across the team, but not quite enough to bring anyone down here. As Minnow, he'll be going down to Sniper. And they're all very low, but not quite low enough to go down. Only Invoker with buyback and Puck back at the base. And the creeps are like, hey, buddy, let's tango.
Howdy, Puck. I'm ready to go.
Oh, we see you running for that fountain there.
Be a shame if you were to die. Sniper,
I mean,
he's ready to end this.
Invoker can buy back,
with top racks,
but
no, they're not.
They had the best team fight they could have hoped for, basically, at the Roche Pit, with a great Witch Doctor ult that kept going, but it still wasn't quite enough to finish the job. And it looks like this could be game 1 in the books. Game 2, keep in mind, will be coming up next. So,
no GG to the end. THD holding out.
Yep, they will GG now, though.
No surprise, like Sevo and Joindota betting, they're always dead wrong. Currently.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, there could still be a tie, but...
That was what, 10%?
80% of people were wrong, pretty much. Just rounding it out, you know? Yeah. However, yours truly here put his little cheese icon on a tie. That way I'm completely unbiased. Except for game 2, where THD has to win.
Yeah.
Because we all know that cheese is more valuable than rares. I think the real problem here, though, was the Abaddon. I mean,
yeah,
look at the scoreboard.
Placement here.
I mean, he helped in 3 kills and had 137 GPM.
Yeah, it didn't really fit in, and I don't know. Maybe they'll address that in the next draft.
I mean, the Witch Doctor pick was greedy, so the Abaddon had to kind of be the fall guy for that, but it still didn't work out quite as much in their favor. Megalodon, though, pulling one out of, not nowhere, but seemingly nowhere at least. And we'll have game number 2 coming up in just a second, guys. Remember, this is Truesight TV. I'm SB Revolution 5, joined by Archaeadota. You can find us on Twitter under those names. You can find myself on Facebook at SB Revolution 5 Dota, and Truesight TV on Facebook at Truesight TV. I know a lot of the Brazilians use more Facebook than Twitter, so that's out there. And I don't believe Archaea has a Facebook page, but eventually.
I don't have one set up for Archaea. Just go to Truesight TV and show me some love there. That's appreciated.
If he ever gets one, it'll be on Truesight TV's page at some point, so you'll find out. Anyways, guys, we appreciate the support. We'll be back with game number 2 in just a few minutes as we recreate the lobby. So stay tuned.